Peace, family. We are now live. I'm in the building with Professor Griff. I'm about to bring him on, but in a second. But before I do, as usual, make sure you hit the like button. That's very important. Share the link with your friends and family. Important topic tonight, as usual. And we're gonna get to a couple of commercials. Then I'm gonna bring my brother back on the channel. Be right back, family.
Hey there! Had a bad dream? I have dreams too. Some parts are scary and some parts are fun. Always remind yourself, it's only a dream and everything will be okay. I had a dream about being in a forest too. Check it out, my pet Peedy was with me. Order your copy of Kayla, Peedy, and the Forest on Amazon today.
Here, aka Goddess Guru, let me tell you something. When you think about magical people that seem to be manifesting the life of their dreams, those that have enough resources to do what they're called to do, and it just seems like the universe unfolds for them, it's no accident. Many of them are working with supernatural tools. I have created such a tool with my 2023 Angels Unleashed calendar. Go to VickiPlanet.com, buy them by the dozens. Let me see you there.
It's the numerational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now.
All right. With that being said, Professor Griff, welcome back to the show, my brother.
Greetings, Brother Rich, and it's a pleasure to be back. Or should I say Father Rich? It's a pleasure to be back here with you.
Indeed. Great topic tonight, as usual. We always have interesting topics. Definitely look forward to the conversation. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all of y'all. Yeah, old school. They say, yeah, you remember the show back in the day with me and Griff? What was that? what was that when we started that? Was that 2013 or 14?
It might have been 12, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a minute ago. We try to set some things in motion, put some things in place to, but hey, hills and valleys, trials and tribulations, here we are. We still here though.
Oh yeah. But wow, it's been a decade already, huh? Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Wow. Time go by. Hey, Griff, man, listen, let me show you something real quick. We're talking about this brother, John Morant, NBA superstar, Griff. I don't know. I don't watch the NBA as much as I used to, but I mean, the brother's a living highlight reel. He has some athletic, spectacular, electrifying NBA player. Got a lot going on for him in terms of his talent, basketball-wise, but off the court, might be some issues. Let me show you something real quick, Griff. All right. So let me just read this from this site. So early on Saturday morning, social media was jolted by the sight of Morant live streaming himself from a Colorado strip club hours after a tough loss to the Denver Nuggets. On his Instagram feed, Morant appears shirtless, dancing, and singing along to NBA Youngboy rap song Bring 'Em Out before flashing a pistol to the camera. Whether the gun was real is not yet known. The police are investigating the incident. Either way, the Grizzlies weren't having it. Immediately, they announced Morant would step away from the team for at least 2 games after another loss on Sunday. This time, they just talking to me. I want to read something real quick. Oh, this is the latest in a series of troubling incidents involving Morant that have become public in recent days. According to the Post, during a 4-day span last summer, the 23-year-old apparently ganged up on the head of security at a Memphis mall and on a 17-year-old boy playing a pickup basketball game at Morant's house. In the latter case, Morant is alleged to have threatened the boy with a gun as well. So a series of allegations, young black man getting it, making money. People, it's trending. This topic is trending. I didn't want to play the video. I don't know how YouTube will respond to me showing a video of him flashing his gun, but in a strip club. But people are trying to wonder what's on this young brother's mind to make him. I mean, he's making about $18 million this year. His new contract, he's guaranteed to make at least about 200 million in the next 5 to 6 years, Griff. Some people say youth and money don't mix well, Griff, especially if you're a young black man from the hood. So from your experience, you're a wise brother, Griff. Are we seeing somebody having an identity crisis right before the world? What are you seeing when you see the story and you hear this story? Because I want the other young brothers who's out there getting it or who plan on getting it to learn from this experience, Professor Griff.
Well, I think viewing it through 62-year-old eyes is different from viewing it through a 20-something-year-old's eyes. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot that they would say about cats my age. We old, we outdated, we we out of step with the time, this, that, and the other. But when we start to take full view of people's actions, we tend to look at some of the same actions being repeated over and over and over and over throughout the ages. And when I say throughout the ages, I mean, what was I doing at 23? What was you doing at 23, Brother Rich? Was we in the strip club with draped in diamonds, flashing guns? Probably not. When you have access to that much money, that many resources, like one brother I heard say when I was doing some research, the world at your fingertips with your cell phone in one hand, and then the world at your fingertips in the other hand, as far as who you are in the realm of basketball, being in the league and being one of the faces of a power energy drink, being the face of the Grizzlies, being the face of Adidas and some other people, some other deals you may have, then your world changes. Those actions change. You're no longer a 23-year-old kid from the hood. Now, my question, though, to the people that I hear online condemning him, all right, is why didn't you, as an ex-basketball player, as a successful businessman now, why didn't you set up something where these young men at 27-year-old getting drafted, why didn't you set something up for them to get financial literacy training, financial literacy courses? Why didn't you turn around and set up something where to teach these individuals how to handle the press? How do you conduct yourself in public? Now, some people may say to Griff, well, isn't that the responsibility of his mom and dad? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But let me say this to you. Mom and dad probably come from the same hood, same environment, same conditions.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, if those of us that want to sit back, not myself, want to sit back and condemn the young brother, did we do our due diligence and justice towards correcting some of these issues before they get in trouble? You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
I heard 4 or 5 people already talk about, well, man, I saw this coming. Well, what did you do?
Mm-hmm.
If you saw it coming, if that was my son and I saw it coming, I said, yo, I'm about to swing through and pick you up. Take this ride with me. Let's talk. Do you understand what I'm saying? And some individuals, giving them credit, said they have done that. But the dad of Team Morant basically shut them down and be like, nah, we got this. We good. We good. So keep your advice, so to speak, simply because I think the dynamic between the son and the dad has changed because now there's $200 million on the table.
Yeah.
So when you talk about $200 million over 5 years, you roughly talking about $60-something million a year. Break that down into how many games. You're talking $500,000 or $600,000 per game. So when someone says they're getting suspended for 2 games, yeah, you're talking $1 million, man.
You know, you brought up his dad, and people in the comment section are commenting on his father. Do you think he comes from a 2-parent household? But do you think when you're rich and you cutting the checks, you become the parent to your own parents at that point?
I won't go that far, but if the parents are receiving a check every month from the son, You're not going to be as, how can I put it? You're not going to be as hard. You're not going to be as forceful about certain things. You're not going to be like, yo, like, what you doing, man? You're not going to be like, let me go over here and straighten my son up. What you doing? You're not going to be that dad. Trust me, you're not. I don't care. Growing up in a 2-parent household, I don't care how firm and strict the dad was or how disciplined. It looks like to me from what I've seen, dad is more like, that's my homeboy, so to speak. I'm not saying that he's not a good dad. T. Morant, if you hear this, don't get this twisted, bro. I'm not questioning your fatherhood or your parenting skills. You understand? Because right now, if my son got signed to a deal for $200 million, I'm built a different kind of way. You understand what I'm saying? I think I would be the one going out saying to my son, listen, when the season ends this year, I'm going to introduce you to this financial cat, and I'm going to introduce you to this cat that's going to teach you certain degrees of ethics and some other things and how you handle yourself in the public. Flashing a Sig Sauer Piece 365 in a club without a holster, with strippers in the background, with NBA YoungBoy playing in the background. I don't know. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
A lot of people would say strip clubs are low vibrational places to be in. Do you think there's anything wrong with a young brother with money going to a strip club to get rid of some stress, Professor Griff?
If you do not have stress outlets, tension outlets, I think what tends to happen in a young man's mind, they fantasize about that stuff when they couldn't go. Now that I can go, let me use that as the excuse to go. I want to relieve some tension. And it ain't, I've been there. Of course, you already know I had 2 or 3 contracts with 2 or 3 strip clubs to do security, of which I had to let them all go. You understand what I'm saying? But that's not a tension relief kind of place to be, because you have people watching you, potentially trying to rob you, set you up. I know strip club owners that have gotten robbed. You understand what I'm saying? I know cats that got robbed at the end of the night. I know dancers that have got robbed. So it's not necessarily a place to relieve some tension. You understand what I'm saying? Because you constantly have to be awake and aware in what's going on. And if you're not in there with security that's not drinking, if you're not in there with security that has that's centered and focused, you can fall into all of the trappings that the strip club has to offer. Now, a young man never experiencing that, 23 years old, having millions of dollars at your disposal, it becomes like, you're like a young kid at the amusement park, man. You're gonna get on every ride. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just the reality of it, man, for real.
No, definitely. Once again, family, shout out to everybody in the chat. We are live with Professor Griff. Make sure you hit that like button, family. We're talking about these young brothers out here with money, and the thought out there, the words out there going on social media is that, he still wants to be a thug, y'all. He still wants to be a gangster. Now he still wants to be, but he wants to be a thug. He wants to be a gangster. Can we is rap? Some people say we blame rap on too much going on in society. Now he's listening to NBA YoungBoy, and everybody know who listens to the younger rap music, they know how NBA YoungBoy give it up in his songs. Can we blame the rap music for him, with his jewelry on, no shirt on, flashing a gun? Is rap somewhat responsible for what his actions?
Of course. The music has a very important role in Black people's lives, especially at 23 years old, having millions of dollars at your disposal. Of course. Not having millions of dollars at your disposal and being young, you're influenced. You understand what I'm saying? By the music. And a lot of times when you make comments like that, being an older gentleman that's been in the game, and as one commentator, I heard him say, I think it's Eddie, I forget Eddie's name, But he has sons that are now in college, and he's grooming them to be NBA players. Basically saying, yeah, he was falling for the trappings, feeling that he had to get out there and kind of prove something until an older gentleman pulled his coat and says, listen, that's not you. You're not built like that. You understand what I'm saying? And then it wasn't until I think he said he heard the words, who are you trying to prove something to? Who do you have to prove this to that you're hard and this, that, and the other? Do you understand what I'm saying? I think it's a misnomer that there is an attitude out there that we have to prove how hard we are to this invisible class of people that's going to ultimately judge us one day. That is not necessarily true. You understand what I'm saying? I think it was Shannon Sharp that says, listen, if I got $200 million, I don't want to prove how hard I am. At that point, I'm going to be the softest dude I could possibly be to secure that bag, because it's not promised to everyone. You see how quick they have taken that bag from Kyrie Irving. You understand what I'm saying? And other basketball players. So we have to be very, very mindful. So to answer your question directly, and I'm saying this, and I'm not going to stutter, the rap music that we're hearing today, the vibratory frequency in it, is definitely affecting not only young people, it's affecting the culture of who we are as a people, period. Because either we're dealing with the mom whose son got shot, or the mom and dad whose son did the shooting. You understand what I'm saying? I've heard certain rappers, and I'm not going to call their names, have openly admitted, like Steve Jobs and other people have admitted, that they wouldn't let their sons and daughters have open access to the inventions or the songs, or listen to the songs that they've made and other things. And this is a very real dynamic. Now, if Steve Jobs didn't let his son and daughter have an iPad, iPod, iPhone, what is that saying? If certain rappers now won't even let their children listen to their own songs, but you peddle that madness to other people's children, what is it saying? It's speaking volumes that there's something in it that we need to keep our guard up against. Right. You understand what I'm saying? But rap music has found its way into the hearts and minds and the culture of who we are as a people. And we find ourselves as parents and now grandparents having this ongoing battle now to protect our children's ears, their souls, from this kind of destructive counterculture, I could actually call it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the whole culture is counterproductive. I'm saying aspects of the culture actually work against us. Rap music now has become a culture of death. And that's a very real dynamic. And a physical death, a spiritual death, a psychic death. And it's a very real dynamic. And we don't need to call all of the names of the people that have been murdered. Brother Rich, you and I both know. We could do a whole show on the individuals that's been murdered. But in and of itself, rap music is very destructive right now. And its influence and its pull, it has a very serious magnetic pull and draw. You understand what I'm saying? Look at it, man. These cats are telling the story from their perspective. If you find yourself on that frequency and you can identify with some of the things that some of these rappers are going through, then you can relate. And that becomes your theme song for your life until you find yourself with a gun, dangling it with strippers in the background, you know, throwing up gang signs with $1 million worth of jewelry on. Yeah.
So if we're in a deaf culture and, you know, we know about all the, you know, the hip hop culture is a deaf culture. We know about all the rappers recently who have gotten killed. Maybe from his point of view, Griff, what if he tell you, hey, Griff, man, listen, I'm letting my ops know out there that I'm holding something. So if they try to do them, if they have any idea of doing something to me like they did to so-and-so and so-and-so, they got something else coming for them. I mean, Donald Trump tells the rest of the world that the U.S. got some of the biggest, baddest weapons that the world has never seen before. So that the government does it. So if the government could do it, I mean, is there technically anything wrong with him talking to his ops without talking to them, Professor Griff?
Hey, if you got a $200 million contract, I'd have very little ops. Trust me.
I tried to make a point. I tried to.
No.
I was trying to be a lawyer, like a defense attorney.
No. And let me clear up something that you said. And this is nothing against you. Hip hop is not a deaf culture. Hip hop is high infinite power healing our people. Hip hop is sacred. You understand what I'm saying? It's sacred to cats like myself. So when we say hip hop is a deaf culture, we spit in the face of the founding fathers way before Kool Herc, way before Bambaataa, way before Flash. You understand what I'm saying? Way before all of those cats in the Queens and definitely in Brooklyn that really set this thing in motion. Not the Bronx, but Brooklyn that set this thing in motion. And we can debate that and talk about that later on. So hip-hop is high infinite power healing our people. One aspect of hip-hop have became a culture of death. You understand what I'm saying? And that's when they took it from being an MC, which is something honorable, to being just a rapper. You understand what I'm saying? And if people don't know the difference, they need to go study that and understand exactly what it is when I say that, man. For real. So the idea now of having ops while you the face of a power drink, while you the face of and with your own sneaker, what kind of ops do you have, man? You got your own sneaker. What kind of op? Your face is on the back of buses and on billboards and on commercials every night. Your highlight reel is off the meat rack. Come on, bro. No, they got socks and underwear named after you.
Griff, no. Biggie said more money, more problems. You know, Big said that, right?
It depends on where you're getting your money from. There was something very unique that he said in his statement that he put out to the world, that he's going to take time and reflect on some things and get help. So in my mind, what you're saying is very real, Brother Rich, because whoever knew that he needed help, and help doing what? Navigating racism, white supremacy? Because those are all of the trappings. We may not view it as such, but those are all of the trappings. You understand what I'm saying? And I tell young cats all the time when I sit in those circles, Brother Rich, it's a test when you got 5 stacks in your pocket and I'm on stage and you got women pulling at your leg, calling your name, winking at you. You understand what I'm saying? Give me your number, yada, yada, yada. What you doing? You going to the after party? You understand what I'm saying? Limousine waiting and a suite waiting downtown. That's hard to navigate, man. Because if you came through high school and you ain't never had a bad chick like that and you see her in the audience, you ain't turning that down. Hell, you winking back. You forget that you on stage. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a very real dynamic. So when I say navigate it, any pro sports player can relate to what I'm saying. You have to navigate the press, navigate $1 million contracts and deals, navigate women coming at you. You understand what I'm saying? Navigate family, navigate and know how to deal with friends. I had this conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and I was saying, listen, your friends that you had back in high school, they're not necessarily your friends no more because they change. They different people now. And John Morant needs to understand that. Them same cats, they're not the same cats. And if they are the same cats, they're going to treat you different because before you was just a homie sharing some Mike and Ike's. You understand what I'm saying? Sharing some now ladies. You understand what I'm saying? Sharing some French fries. Now, you asking them to buy you a $250,000 car in your own crib. You understand what I'm saying? It's a different kind of relationship.
But Griff, is it presumptuous for everybody to say that the people around him are bringing him down? Because that's the first thing everybody said. Oh, it's the people around him, Are we, jumping the gun on that one? Or what do you think?
Of course, we're jumping the gun simply because the dynamic in those particular relationships that we don't know about because we don't know the man's personal business. I know I don't. Do you understand what I'm saying? If Professor Griff was to take a fall, you can't say it's my homeboy, Brother Rich, that's bringing me down. And it wasn't until he started hanging out with Brother Rich that he started doing. No, you can't say that. How about it's the Professor Griff fault? Issue that I have to deal with. How about me influencing them? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, because if you the dude in the circle with the most guap, then more than likely you paying for everybody to get in. More than likely, we going in a limousine that you rented. You understand what I'm saying? More than likely, you carrying that weight. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, you calling the shots. And that's basically how that works. So now when we talking about the legalities now of what he's facing, oh man, it's mounting as we speak right now, Brother Rich. I can tell you from a firearm instructor's perspective what he's facing. And that's ugly. It's really ugly, man. If you're going through 3 states, now just hear me out, and I'm not judging the brother.
Yes.
If you're going through 3 states with a firearm in your bag, you're having to deal with 3 federal charges. Taking it out of Memphis into LA, from LA to Denver. All 3 states, their laws are different. Right? Along with the NBA's set of rules and instructions about not having a firearm while you travel on their premises, on their flights and on their planes and on their schedule, is you cannot do that. That's number 1. Number 2, legally in the state of Denver, it's an open carry state. You can have a firearm, but is that firearm yours? And if it is, how did you get it to Denver?
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question and throwing it out there, and not to put the brother on the spot. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you came through LA, we know you in trouble because we know LA and New York's laws are the strictest laws. LA, New York, Chicago, and I can name probably DC. Yeah, you're not getting around them laws, them gun laws. And they're very, very strenuous and very difficult to get around. And you're traveling with one. And then on top of that, and on a minute scale, you're violating Instagram policy by flashing guns. And then let's talk about the kind of gun he had and the ops. Bruh, I deal with all kind of firearms every day. That little...
you gonna make fun of his? How you gonna make fun of his weapon? Come on, Griff.
No.
You go in there, man, Griff.
No, I watched the video and I paused it. And I blew it up. I said, "This is a SIG. This is a SIG P365. You might have 7 rounds, 8 rounds. That's it. After that, you scrambling. Yeah, I don't know. No.
Wow. It's not worth the trouble, huh, Griff?
Somebody that just made $11 million. If you're not packing a staccato, and for people that don't know what a staccato is, look that up. If you don't have a staccato, no. You're not keeping your ops off of you. Not with no 365. No.
Somebody said his baby mama pistol. You're stupid. They said his baby mama.
You see how he was holding it, right?
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know.
It's like, come on, bro. If you're gonna flash something, bro. Give it to us. But come on, bro. No.
Hey,
let me just say one last thing about that. Looking up the law, it's illegal to consume alcohol and have a firearm on your persons in the state of Colorado.
Wow.
So let's keep that particular thing in mind. So they're going to look at whose gun it was, how did he get it there, whether or not he was intoxicated. So they're questioning strippers, his homeboy, club owner, security, the pilot, whoever he traveled with, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So right now, them legal things are mounting right now.
Damn. Gilbert Arenas said something quite interesting, and I want to get your thoughts on it. You know who Gilbert Arenas is?
Of course, yeah. I remember the incident he went through. Yeah.
So Gilbert Arenas, he was talking about what he's going to have to do to rebrand himself, create a new image.
Right.
Gilbert Arenas said he thinks one of the things, no matter how harsh it sounds, for him to rebrand himself is that he's going to have to cut his locks. Now, what's your thoughts on living in the world we live in? You make a mistake, you're 23 years old. Now you got to cut your hair off. As to say somewhat your hair is associated with your actions, with thug life, with deaf culture, with whatever negative that they're saying he's involved with. Talk to me about that dynamic, Professor Griff.
I don't know Gilbert Arenas, but that sounds like some small testicle energy, bro. That sounds like they castrated you already, and you just saying any old goddamn thing to appease them. That's sad, man. What the fuck is his hair? I said I wasn't even gonna curse this show, bro. You know that? I'm trying to be a better granddad. I'm trying to be a better dad. I'm trying to be a better friend to all of them people that I'm still connected with that still consider me their friend. You understand what I'm saying? But what the fuck does his hair got to do, all right, with anything else? Unless you bought into the stereotypical image of the young black man with a firearm. Young black NBA player, rich and with money. Young black man with money, rich and have influence. Unless you bought into that, then I don't see what his hair has to. What if he had short curly hair?
Mm-hmm.
What if he had nappy ass afro? What would you say then? You had to get a Jerry curl? Like, what's the problem? Stop that, man. No. Rebrand your image by rebranding your behavior. Let me say this, and to all of those individuals that want to disagree with me, I'm just laying it out there for you to disagree with me. I'm not inviting it, but I'm just saying. Your logo is not your brand. I'm gonna let them marinate on that for a minute. Your logo is not your brand. You got a fly logo. I know I got a fly logo. But unless we come back behind the fly logos, right? The thing that we push and it speaks for us when we're not around, unless we come back behind that with the content that Brother Rich has on Black Magic 363, then your logo don't mean a goddamn thing. Right? You know how many multinational corporations have changed their logo?
Yeah, that's true.
You understand what I'm saying? So we have to understand this particular dynamic when we're talking about situations on how someone looks. What else would you expect him to do? Get rid of his tattoos, his tats? Mm-hmm. Get rid of his diamond-studded grill that he has? What else would you like for him to do? Now, since people don't know Gilbert Arenas, the trouble that he got into, he was being threatened and had beef with someone. So he thought it would be best for him to carry a gun, despite all the rules and regulations that he was already well aware of. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When he wanted to rebrand himself and come up with a new image to appease his masters and his handlers, did he cut his hair? Did he get a fade? Did he start combing his hair back? What did he do? So it's cool for you to give someone else that advice, all right, but yet you didn't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Did you stop carrying a gun?
Griff, you know what? I'm curious, and if anybody in the chat knows this, you can answer as well. When Kobe, and let me just put up a picture real quick. When Kobe had the afro back in the day, he came in the NBA with an afro. He caught the rape case was it in Colorado? I forgot where it was at, but he had the rape allegations against him.
Yeah, one of them white cities, yeah.
Yeah, it might have been Utah, but he had the rape allegations against him with the white woman. I'm curious, did Kobe cut his afro after that? Because he had the afro and then he had the close haircut, remember? I never thought about that until we had this conversation.
Well, if you look at the press conference that he had with his wife, he had a low haircut. I don't think he had the afro then. So
he had okay. Yeah, somebody said Kobe was going bald. Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah, but I don't think why Kobe did that was but a lot of times if you're going to court, your lawyer will advise, get a haircut, clean yourself up, put on a suit, yada, 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 whoop, cut your beard. You understand what I'm saying? Shave, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. What do you think about in terms of the NBA players, and we're witnessing we're seeing these young black brothers. Some of them come straight out of high school. We've seen Kobe come out of high school and they have all this money. Some people say when you're that age, you have this feeling of invincibility at that age. And I mean, in my 20s, I had a couple of dollars and I'm feeling myself extra. If you could talk to the young brothers out there that, they feeling themselves, they feel invincible, like nothing could touch them. They say we're supposed to feel confident, but sometimes I guess that shit go wrong, Griff. Talk to me about feeling invincible versus feeling confident versus feeling like God versus feeling like whatever we're supposed to be feeling, but being humble at the same time, my brother?
Until we're humbled, a lot of us stay on that as long as we could. I didn't have any money. I didn't have no fame. I didn't have no notoriety. I didn't have anything. And shit, my mantra back in the day, or my slogan, my t-shirt would have read, I wish a motherfucker would. And I ain't have shit, but that was my attitude. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I got a little bit of knowledge of self from the 5% nation of gods and earth under my enlightener, and I was taking on everybody. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's just real, man. I was just like, yo, I was that dude. I'm challenging mom, uncles, aunties. I'm wrecking the motherfucking family reunion. You understand what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I was chopping up Sunni Muslims, Orthodox Muslims, Christians. I wish a Jehovah's Witness would come on my motherfucking block. I had signs up. Like, nah, don't even come down here. No, we ain't even doing that today. I used to lock them in my damn house. They used to not ring the door, but I used to let them in and lock the door behind them. I was just like, yo, but until you have a humbling experience, you come down off of all of that, bro. For real. Seriously. And it wasn't until the Professor Simmons, the Professor Smalls, the situations that I kind of, African poetry theater, slave theater. It wasn't until I started meeting, like sitting down with the elders and some now ancestors. You understand what I'm saying? That I had to bring it all the way down. But, now in hindsight, I look back, I said, that's the energy I needed to establish the public enemy thing. You understand what I'm saying? But in and of it all, I needed to humble myself. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying the public enemy thing was a humbling experience, because we all know to a degree it was. You understand what I'm saying? But at that particular point, I was ready to give it up all. Like, I'm ready to go the full mile. If they want to go to war, then let's go to war. Not public enemy, but these people that was trying to slow us down and come at us. If they wanted war, then let's go. You understand what I'm saying? Because with the crew I had, the few little pea shooters, I thought we was ready, but we weren't. You understand what I'm saying? And the creator has a way of slowing you down and saying, listen, some pump the brakes, bro. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm saying that as a 62-year-old man, if this 62-year-old Griff could speak to the 26-year-old Griff, it's like, yo, what you doing, man? Come on now. You understand what I'm saying? Humble yourself. You can't beat up on everybody. I know you to a degree. You got this death wish thing that you think you're invincible because you're in your 20s and can't nothing happen to you. Chill with that, man, for real. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I started meeting wise brothers, older brothers with gray in their beard. And I'm saying to myself, well, damn, how they get to be 60 and 70 years old? My ass is struggling at 20-something. It's a humbling experience, bro, for real. And then my first child, looking in her face, that was a humbling experience, man. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I just said to myself, I cannot be that crazy and taking on death and punching death in the chest, thinking I'm going to live through this long enough to be sane and intact and whole to take care of her. You understand what I'm saying? And, Takia Kalisha was a humbling experience for me. You understand what I'm saying?
Indeed. Yeah. We witnessed, I was real young in the 80s. We witnessed the crack epidemic. You've seen what it did to our community. And I guess now in this era, it was an addiction to a substance that gave people a high. We're witnessing an addiction to a substance, to something that is giving people high right now, and that's social media. We're going through what some people call a social media epidemic, where Griff, I've seen some amazing articulate brothers completely change once YouTube came out. I've seen sisters completely change. I've seen people throw their lives away. I've seen people do any and every, ruin their lives, their wives, their homes for some likes, for some views, for some comments. It is an exaggeration to say that besides crack epidemic, this is one of the biggest things that have affected our people as far as addiction, Professor Griff, in a negative way.
Yeah, man. I did a song called "Social Media Digital Heroin."
Mm.
I shared
Digital heroin.
that social media digital heroin.
Mm.
Sean Carter gave me that title. I sat down with Chuck and Soleil, and we pinned it and we put it out there. And yeah, man, we kind of looked at we did the song and kind of looked back at it, and we started looking at all of the things that we should have put in the song, man. And the very same thing that you described is a very real kind of dynamic. This social media thing, it's almost like you said, it's addictive and it's a drug. And you're absolutely correct, man. It's almost like the things that people were doing to get likes and hits. You understand what I'm saying? Is just, I think, way beyond what they could have imagined as far as the attention is concerned. Chuck D said the attention is the new currency, which is very, very real if you kind of look at it. I've never seen so many women hold the phone up and twist and contort their body so much to get the right picture of their tits and ass. It's ridiculous. Now the question is, for what? And then you turn around and you want some dude to wife you. That's a very critical dynamic. And you've heard recently about the quote unquote, I like the way the news puts it, 4 Americans kidnapped in Mexico. You heard that story?
Yeah.
When I discovered today that it was black people, and then I discovered that she was going to get a BBL.
Yeah.
I said, wow. Well, you see, but like you just said, it ruins lives, man. For what? You already got 6 children, sis. Now, I'm saying I hope the sis is still alive. I hope she gets returned back to the family intact. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not wishing anything negative on her, or I'm not throwing that energy her way, but I'm saying if you already got 6 children, same thing I said about Kanye's mom. If you're already a beautiful woman, if you're already junior elder, what do you need bigger tits for? If you already got 6 children, sis, what do you need a bigger butt for? To attract a different kind of man that's gonna give you 6 more children? Come on, man. No, we need to stop that, man. We have an inordinate self-image, Brother Rich. It's inordinate simply because at the same time we don't love or like ourselves, and then at the same time we change what the creator made a mistake. We change what the creator has given us to appease somebody that don't even really truly like us. You follow what I'm saying? We watch Michael Jackson transform in front of our eyes from a full black dude with an afro to a white woman. How does that work? For what? You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he was spewing the same information that I was spewing about the same damn people, and they killed him. You understand what I'm saying? And it's sad. So the idea of what social media has done to the lives of individuals, and these same individuals, Brother Rich, they have reshaped the thinking of how we view ourselves in the context of the culture. You follow what I'm saying? For example, let me give you an example. So-and-so might say something, and the reason why we have to cancel them and the reason why we have to say something is because they have 23 million followers. So if they didn't have the 23 million followers, we let them say what they want to say? I'm confused. Help me out with this one. So, but because they have followers, that makes what they say more important. You understand what I'm saying? I truly don't get it, because them people that showed up at Charlottesville, how many followers did they have? We don't know, but they was all wearing the same thing, same idea in mind, chanting the same thing, carrying the same torches with the same khaki pants on, right or wrong, in unison, right? Who gave that order? So we have to understand the dynamic in what this thing is. You have power because you got followers? I think not. I think not.
Another question about social media, Griffin. I'm asking you this because we John Morant is flashing the gun on social media. You know, he wants the attention, so he's showing people that he has a pistol. Um, do you think we're talking about people ruining their lives for likes and attention? Do you think it's wrong, Griff? I'm just curious. You're a married man, my brother, and shout out to your wife Soleil.
Okay, thanks. I'll tell her that.
Is there anything wrong with a married man liking a pic or a video from a woman who may be scantily clad, half naked, or she's just in a, she's dressed sexy. She looks real sexy and she's taking pictures. Is there anything wrong? Because we're talking about men who are, or people that are ruining their lives, and has become a problem in many households. Is there anything wrong with that to you, Professor Griff?
Oh, bro, come on. Yeah.
A lot of listen, man, brothers will be like, hey, no, I just like the pic. So
no, we're not doing that.
Uh-huh.
There's a friend of mine, very good friend of ours. His name is Black Dot. Yes. He taught me something very valuable. It's the 3-second rule. You got 3 seconds to look. That's it.
The 3-second rule. The 3-second rule.
If I'm with my wife and we out, and I know the kind of man that catches her eye, I'm not insecure that way. I don't have that issue. I'm a man's man. So I don't have that issue. You understand? Plus, we have some ingredients that are there in a relationship where we don't go behind one another looking at phones and emails and who you liked and who you put a heart next to. We don't. That's child's play. We don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? I would never know if she liked the picture, or she would never know if I liked one. But we just don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not the social butterfly dude, but I'm a Leo. And if you know anything about Leos, once we step in the room, it's on and popping. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to make some friends. We're going to liven that motherfucker up. You're going to know us by the time we leave. You understand what I'm saying? That's just what it is with Leos. You understand what I'm saying? Now, she might whisper in my ear, oh, you just being Leo. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes she called me the mayor because she says, you know something, your ass know everybody. You understand what I'm saying? That's just what that is. But yeah, there's a problem. There's a problem with that, and especially in the climate that we're in with social media. I hear so many conversations about black male-female relationships from people that are not even in relationships. It's a problem. I'm gonna say that again slow, with a beat behind me. There's a problem when these people have these conversations about black male-female relationships and they're not in a relationship. You follow what I'm saying? And it's like, and then when I hear the conversation, they always leave out racism, white supremacy. You understand what I'm saying? So that causes us to come at each other's throats, that kind of thing. What happens in my bedroom with me and my wife, our children don't even know about it. So if it ain't spilling over into the room next to us or down the hall, why would it spill over out on social media? That's just not going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? And then deeper than that, from the outside looking in, no one knows the intricate relationship that I have with my wife. They don't know what kind of relationship it is. You understand what I'm saying? We could wake up in the morning, give each other dap. I'll see you later on. You understand what I'm saying? Or we could be the lovey-dovey type or whatever. So I'm saying, men, just advice from an older man. Follow what Black Dot said. You got 3 seconds. You understand? The chick with the big booty in the mall, she saw her before you saw her. I'm going to say that again. She saw her before you saw her, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Now, there was one incident that we was driving through the parking lot trying to find some place to park. And I'm Mr. Nice Guy. When I'm letting you go first, nope, go ahead. You want to pass me? I'm going to slow down, pull over to the right. Do your thing, because I don't want no drama. Big booty chick came across the parking lot. I tapped her. I'm like, why?
Oh, Griff. Oh, man.
I mean, my thing, if it's obvious, sometimes you just got to be like, Matter of fact, I'm going the other way. You understand what I'm saying? Navigate those situations, bro, simply because, like Dot said, you got 3 seconds. Brothers, when you start getting to the 5 and 10 seconds and making comments, now you become disrespectful to your wife.
Making comments.
In fact, you become disrespectful now to yourself. If my wife ever saw me liking some chicks' pictures online because of the way she dressed or some TNA, it's like, come on, bro. Aren't you 62 or 26?
Let me ask you this about John Morant's father. I seen his father get criticism, just like I seen LeVar Ball, I think that's his name, and Melo and LaMelo, their father, get criticism. Do you think when and these are black fathers, do you think they're doing too much? Like, they're very involved in their son's career. They're at the games, they're cheering, they're commenting, they may have signs, they're talking shit in the audience. In the crowd. Do you think they're doing too much, or black fathers should be this involved in their son's life? Because we rarely see this with a black man and his father.
I want to answer that question very directly, but can I just say this?
Yeah.
Where do we see that at in the academic world? Where do we see that when the son becomes the scientist or the inventor? Where do we see that when the son becomes the VP of a company where do we see that at? That's one of the questions I want to throw out there. We see it in the boxing world. We see it all the time in the boxing world, a sport which I follow. Not because of the violent nature of the sport, because those are tacticians. You understand what I'm saying? So when the son becomes a professional DJ, where's the dad? We don't see it. We see it a lot of times when it comes to the $200 million contract my son just got. We see it a lot of times when my son ends up being, heavyweight champion of the world. You understand what I'm saying? We see it a lot of times when we tend to, and I don't think the dad, and this is just me, my observation of T. Morant, the dad, I don't think he's doing too much. I think he's being there, looking out for the son the best way he knows how, with what he has to do it with. You understand what I'm saying? Helping his son navigate through it. We cannot say what we would do if our children became a millionaire, and I wouldn't say overnight, because dad had something to do, because dad took him to basketball practice. Dad helped raise him. Dad paid for this. Dad did that. Dad raised and reared a son that has a $200 million contract now. Do you understand what I'm saying? We never know. We don't know how to navigate that because we're not in that situation. Some of the things that I did see that I said, okay, well, it's going to take someone other than the dad to tell the son a particular thing. Like, people tell me all the time. They said, yo, man, I'm glad I came to your class with my wife, or I'm glad I came to your class with my son, because he don't listen to me. He has to hear it from someone else. And the men out there know what I'm talking about. All right? My son has to hear it from someone else other than the dad, because they feel some kind of way about the dad. I'm saying this to Mr. T. Morant. There's some things the coach is going to have to help guide your son in his career. There's certain things that older men in his life are going to have to kind of impart on him. And there's some things that probably can't come from you, sir. And I'm sure you're doing the best job you can do. But it almost seems like, and this is just me, Mr. T. Morant, it seems like there's a thin line between dad and homeboy. That's just me. I'm just, you understand what I'm saying? And if I could say something in private to the dad, I know how difficult it is, man. But you know something? There's some hard, strict, firm disciplinary lessons that I got to give my son that he might not like. Is he going to cut me off and start the checks are going to stop coming? I don't think so, because my son is mature enough to know, okay, that's my dad. He loves me, and he's just telling me for my own good. You understand what I'm saying?
Indeed.
My children, my son's old enough now. Before, anybody around me used to know. I used to race my children. Hell, I probably can't beat them now. Box with them, wrestle with them. You understand what I'm saying? Just to let them know I'm dad and you can't beat me. You do push-ups. You understand what I'm saying? Do one-arm push-ups. Come on, man. Let's do this. Probably can't do it now at 62, but I'm saying.
You know, Griff, when I made the title
hold on. One last thing, Brother Rich.
Yes.
Can I put a cap on that by saying this? Remember the saying that our parents used to say, I brought you in the world and I'll take you out?
Take you out, yes.
And I think that's what we tend to try to prove in a subtle kind of way. Even with the son with the $200 million contract. But anyway.
You know, Griff, when I made the title for the show, you know, when I see what Ja Morant is going through, I'm like, in my mind, I said, you know, somebody need to talk to these brothers with money to teach them how to navigate in this world so they don't squander it. And so, because the type of money he's getting is generational wealth money. He could change his great grandchild's life with the money, that 200 milli he was going to get over the next 5 years.
No, it's more than that. That was just the contract. All the 3 major deals that endorsements that he had, that's $1 billion he was getting, man.
So Griff, so check this out. With that being said, that's why I decided to do the show, because I'm like, this is generational wealth money, and we need to learn how to manage this. I noticed a lot of people was upset with the title, and they were saying, well, what about regular men? What about poor men? What about men on the streets? F. Ja Morant, he got bread, he's rich. Do you think the average person has a hatred for people with money that they aren't even aware of, where there's a jealousy, there's an anger, there's a hatred, there's an envy toward people with money, and it comes out when maybe a title like this gets shown and they're like, man, fuck that nigga, he got money. Why are we talking about them niggas? Do you think that we have this, the average person, without knowing it, Professor Griff?
I think in those individuals' minds that want to react and respond in that kind of way, either A, they've been in a position with money and squandered it away, or they can't see themselves having that much money ever in their lifetime. So then why would they waste their time talking about someone with money? You understand what I'm saying? Let's correct something and put it out there for so we could get everyone back on the same page and in the same spirit. We're not talking about the brother, but because of the fact that he has money. We're saying what we're saying simply because we don't want him to lose the money. You understand what I'm saying? Or the opportunity that he can provide not only for himself and his family, the inspiration that he might give to that cat coming out of high school into college, or the cat coming out of college with no money that want to go into the pros. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this is unfair to the Ja Morant, and I can humbly say it is, because we automatically put role model on these cats when they sign the deal. Automatically, they become the role model. But why? He didn't sign up to become the role model. He never went to class to become the role model. He never got the instructions on how to be the role model. How is he going to be somebody's role model at 23? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if you did an intricate look on and read some of the tattoos that he has all over his body. It's almost like, yeah, bro is young. You titled it right. Message to Ja Morant and young, rich, black men. There's only few that remain rich after the basketball season ends. Am I right or wrong? Tell them individuals to do those stats and those numbers. And then come back and talk to us. You know, rarely this couldn't have been Ja Morant and old, rich black men. Because there's not too many of them after they stop dribbling the basketball. You follow what I'm saying? And that's a very real dynamic, man, in which we need to kind of look at. And while they're young, I think everyone needs to have older elders, all right, part of their squad. Yeah, you got your homeboy you've been hanging with since 4th grade. Got you, bro. He's been by your side. He took up for you. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all used to bag the same chicks, yada, 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 whoop-de-whoop. Y'all went to the parties. Y'all went to the prom, blah, 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 blah. got you. He bought you your first pair of sneakers. Yeah. You used to wear his coat and jacket and clothes when you didn't have any. We know all of those stories, man. You understand what I'm saying? What about the older black man that Arrested Development had part of their crew and was criticized for it?
Wow.
Shout out to Speech and Arrested Development. What happened with that? You understand what I'm saying? What happened to the older gentleman that's in the Public Enemy camp and security? Brother Malik Farrakhan, all right, who was the pimp and the godfather, who passed down some wisdom about his experience as a pro football player and an actor. You understand what I'm saying? What about those elder gentlemen that we need to keep around us? I've often said, Brother Rich, and I've said it on this show, if I had a chance to talk to some of these cats, they wouldn't make the mistakes that they're making. But let me ask one question. Let me throw this out to your listeners. When does a young, rich black man ever listen to an older black man that really ain't got no money? They don't listen to us. For what? They look at us like, man, you ain't got no money, because their idea of success is different. If I say to them, look, I survived the music industry, they don't look at that like an accomplishment.
Damn. You ain't got the bag. They want to hear somebody with that $1 million bag, huh?
But what are they saying?
Yeah.
They too busy selling out. You understand what I'm saying? So come on, man.
It's a great point, Griff. Yeah, great point. One more question for you, Griff. Then I'm gonna take about two questions from the people in the chat. But shout out to everybody who reminded me. You know what's funny, y'all? Y'all remind me of this Virgo full moon tonight. Y'all know I'm a Virgo. It's funny, when I was driving home, I went to Tassili's to get a wrap earlier today, Griff. And I was driving home, and I said, "Wow, that's a beautiful moon." I mean, the moon was huge, round. I took a picture of it. Let me see if I got it on my phone. It's funny.
Oh yeah, I saw it out of my bathroom window, and I just said to myself, "Wow." You understand what I'm saying?
You ain't gonna be able to see it good on here.
I was very mindful of that yesterday. That it will be a full moon. I said, well, let me watch my temperament. No, seriously, let me watch my attitude and how I kind of deal with people. So I think I kind of pulled back today and kind of didn't talk to people and just kind of kept to myself. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, it does have an effect on us.
Indeed. So thanks for reminding me, y'all. I gotta do some meditating tonight, y'all. But last question,
when people start talking about the astrological charts and that kind of thing, and sun rising and moon rising and all that kind of stuff, I got to worry about my fist rising. I got to be very mindful not to my attitude rising. You understand? Yeah, I don't want people to ever think that I don't wrestle with this militant radical thing that's in me, man. Every single day, bro. Every day. Every single day, man. Yeah, I had some dude roll down the window on me yesterday, man, and put on a mask.
Wow.
Yeah, I changed lanes and I went another way. I said, come on, bro. That's not going to work out for you, though. Wow. No, literally, man. I'm like, is this really happening to me? Like, I couldn't believe it, man. I'm like, wow. I mean, I didn't cut anybody off. I put on my blink. I was like, he sped up and looked at me like, I'm like, I don't even want that smoke, bro. I slowed down, let him go by. I got in the other lane. And bro, man, rolled down the window, started adjusting this. I'm like, I don't even want that like that, bro. You got it. You ain't ever gonna find me in no traffic dispute or some dispute. Somebody owe me $40, so I came to their house and nah, bro. Those are the trappings of racism, white supremacy. You understand what I'm saying? Professor Griff goes to jail for having a shootout at a traffic light, trying to make it to Starbucks.
Not you, huh? Not you, huh?
Nah, not never. Double negative, but not never. Nah, you got it, bro. You can have the whole road. There you go.
Let me ask you this last question, Griff, before I take a couple from the people. Does a situation like this, 23-year-old Ja Morant, superstar in the NBA, promising career, like I said, he's one of the top 5 people in the NBA right now that people go to the games to watch. When you see something like this happen, see what he's going through mentally, him saying he needs some help to cope with stress or whatever. Does this situation make you respect a person like LeBron James more, considering what he had to go through, considering the pressure he's been under, and considered how he was crowned the king at 18, on top of the world since he was 18. No allegations of cheating on his wife, always been a family man, always talk about his children. Does that make you respect that brother more?
Out of all of the questions you've asked me for the last 10 years, that's probably one of the most difficult, because I'm on the fence with dude, and I can't.
Yeah, I know you're not a big fan of him from back in the day. Me, you, and Zaza used to get into it about LeBron. I know you're not a big fan of him. So,
yeah, that's very difficult. I mean, I love, honor, and respect Vince Carter. I love, honor, and respect Allen Iverson. I can name some basketball players, man. I mean, when I watched them, he was one of the reasons why I started turning the damn volume down, man, when I watch TV, because I don't want to hear them. You understand? Because it's like you almost have to please your handlers for the God-given talent that black people help you cultivate, man. So it's like, come on, bro. I mean, yeah, I'm just not a fan. It's very difficult. I guess if I look through a business lens, I hooked up with his partners and created certain businesses, I'd say I take my hat off. Shaq, I'm not a fan of his. Definitely not Charles Barkley. But when you look through a business lens, you got to say, I'm not necessarily give them respect, but good business model. I am a fan of Kevin Durant. And if you look at his business model, oh man, bro, I'm a fan and I respect Kevin Durant. You understand what I'm saying? Klay Thompson, but because I study business and because I had to talk to young people and I had to give some examples, I never used them clowns. Let me not call them clowns. I never used them cats as examples, man. The ones I just mentioned, I used. You understand what I'm saying? The dynamic of the idea of when I was talking about cultural appropriation. Yeah. I used to talk about the white dude, man. I mean, like, nice with it. White chocolate, they called him.
Right, from Sacramento. Jason Williams. Jason Williams, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm coming in front of a group of young people and I see a couple of young cats, white cats in the audience, you know, you got to come with certain things in your toolbox, so to speak. And he's one of the ones that I use. Like, you understand what I'm saying? That, and I joke with him, like, tell me Jason Williams didn't hang out at the Black Park with the brothers. So they start laughing, and I know I got him right there. So then we can talk. You understand what I'm saying? And then when I get them into that, and we start talking, and they let their guard down, then I can drop some other things on them. You understand what I'm saying? But the individuals that I've mentioned, yeah, man, I take my hat off to them. You understand what I'm saying?
What exactly do you have against LeBron again? What do you?
I don't have anything against him.
What is it about him?
The mere fact that he had to say what he had to say against Kyrie Irving.
Well, before that, you didn't like him way before that.
It wasn't the beard, though. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't that, you know, it wasn't anything kind of, it was like, yeah, that's a whole nother show, man.
Right, we'll leave that one alone, Griff. Leave
that alone. Because I don't want to see LeBron, because I might run into him, because I did run into Shaq. And I was just like, yeah.
Indeed.
But listen, if we don't have anything positive to say about any individual, let's not say it. But a critique of some things about talking about other players that kind of like, you know, didn't have the opportunities you had. It's like, come on, bro. Let's not do that to them. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. You are where you are, but come on, man. The same with Michael Jordan. I've never been a Michael Jordan fan. Yeah.
Let's take for those, I see somebody say we're taking questions. Somebody asked, where's my PDF, Rich? Probably KT actually just sent it to me today. I'm probably going to send that out Thursday morning. So everybody who signed up for the fast, you'll most likely get the PDF emailed to you Thursday morning. Probably Wednesday evening, Thursday morning. around that time. Definitely by Thursday though. So y'all could look out for that. And shout out to everybody who signed up for the fast with me and the brother KT. Lot of sisters sign up. I got to give a shout out to all the queens out there who's looking to get their health right. It's going to be an amazing journey, and I'm actually going to have KT on Thursday night. So yeah, y'all can look forward to that. But let's get. I'm gonna take a couple of questions before me and the brother Griff get out of here. So give me some questions for the brother Griff. Just had a great conversation with the brother Griff about navigating in this world and being famous and social media and clout chasing and attention and addiction, heroin, digital heroin. I mean, we talked about so many great things tonight. But let me see. I'm sure. Let me get to some questions. Okay. Well, let's see. Get to Dr. Carla. Dr. Carla says, how can we improve our mindset as Black folks? How can our mindset be strengthened? I guess she's asking me and you. This is for Griff too.
How can we improve our mindset? That's very broad, but
yeah, it's very broad. Yes.
Yeah, our mindset. I think, and shout out to Dr. Carla. I think that if we were to get centered and grounded and rooted back into ancient wisdom, like for example, you're doing a fast, right? That's one of the things we can do to correct the mindset. You understand what I'm saying? Because now there's a certain discipline you have to have in order to fast. Are you following what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think that's a very real dynamic. That's part of the ancient wisdom. I think if we tapped back into that and made those particular rituals and practices part of what we do on a daily and weekly and monthly, yearly, and consistent basis, I think we can improve the overall mindset. And Dr. Carla, the mere fact that I didn't want to talk about LeBron James without adequately being able to articulate what it is that I have, not necessarily against him, but some of the moves he made when it came to other players, is part of having control over my own spirit and my mind set. You understand what I'm saying? Because I had to remember, young cats are watching this and they're saying, okay, I remember Professor Griff saying, we don't destroy other Black men on these platforms like this. You don't straighten the king's crown in public. You follow what I'm saying? So I think that's part of it. But to answer her question directly, we need to put back into place some of this ancient wisdom and some of these ancient practices and rituals.
For me, Carla, I guess you addressed this question to me and Griff. And it may be on an individual case, it's different for each individual. But for me, Carla, I can speak for myself. Me learning about spirituality and metaphysics definitely improved my mindset. Learning how this technology that we have called the human body and the brain and the spirit and the heart, how all of this works in unison with each other. It helped me realize things that I may have been angry about in the past, but I'm no longer angry about because I understand what things is about now, because I understand the dynamics of what we call the matrix. So I would say Black folks should learn, we're spiritual beings. So just know thyself. I guess know thyself would definitely improve our mindset. But I definitely appreciate the question, Carla. I seen somebody else ask me about where to send the donation for the fast. You gotta hit up my Cash App. I'll leave it at the bottom of the screen. If you would like to join the fast, you could send a donation to Black Magic 363 and make sure you leave your email. That's how you sign up for the fast. And while I have my Cash App on the screen, Griff, let me get your Cash App as well so the people can support you. You've been doing this for so long, my brother. I definitely want the people to support you, my brother. So hold on, let me what's your Cash App, my brother?
My Cash App is $ Professor Griff. It's simple. $ my name, Professor Griff. PROFESSORGRIFF. Now, Cash App don't allow you to send $1 million. Y'all can call me directly. 678-552-2919.
But Yo, Dot. I mean, I said Dot. Griff. You and Dot got that same energy. I told the people me and KT got a fast coming up. So I'm like, send what's in your heart to join the fast. We're going to put together a whole program for y'all. We're going to do it. It's a lot of work to put these fasts together. We got to create Discord groups and monitor the group. And we got a PDF going out to the people. So I said to join, send me a donation with whatever in your heart. I said, but don't send no dollar because I know y'all niggas is slick. Y'all said $1. So you know what they did? Yo, these dudes started sending $1.11, 111, try to be spiritual like 111, my brother. Like these niggas is something, man. I say don't send $1. They gonna send 111, $1.11, thinking that's spiritual. And I'm supposed to be like, oh, the 111. Oh, thank you so much. Yo, black folks is son, ain't they? They son, ain't they?
Oh man.
But listen, we got great feedback from besides the people that did that. We got great feedback from the fast, and I'm thankful once again. Before I get to the last question for Griff, if you're interested in joining the fast, you can send it to Cash App, and leave your email. You want to support my brother Professor Griff? His Cash App is on the screen. $ Professor Griff. Okay. Let's get to another question, y'all. Oh, this is okay. I don't know how much you're into the buffoonery on. Do you know who Blueface is, Griff? The young brother Blueface? Because they got this quote. Professor Griff, what do you think about Blueface and his girl relationship on the youth? But you don't know, okay. It's a real ratchet relationship. Griff don't know who Blueface
they be fighting and punching and kicking.
Yeah, yes.
I don't. Shout out G from Detroit. Shout out, what's up, G? I don't do that, bro. I don't get into that. No, because I just, I have a thing with me. I don't care who you are, where you are, with your relationship. Don't touch me. Because once you touch me, then it's a whole different vibration and spirit thing that you're gonna get from me. Don't. Nah. No. So I saw it and I was just, no. Didn't she get arrested behind that?
I don't know. I don't keep up with it. I hear about it from time. I can't. Griff, man.
I think the way I found out about what was happening, and this may be not surprising and shocking, but not from my children, not from any of the young people that I know, but from an Uber driver.
Wow. Who
picked me up in a Tesla. I'm like, my man, excuse me, can you do me a favor? Can you turn that down? You understand? Matter of fact, so who's that you listening to? Oh man, then he mentioned Blueface and the girl and how disrespectful, and I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm only gonna be in here for 17 minutes. You can let me out. Back up, bro. I'm good.
Oh man, let's get to this next question. Somebody, I mentioned metaphysics, Griff. Somebody want to know, could metaphysics improve black male-female relationships?
How are we using more than using, how are we applying metaphysical concepts to what part of the black male-female relationship? That question is an open-end question, and it's vague and it's general. First, we need to define what you think metaphysics are, and then we can start talking about the application of metaphysics inside the context of the family structure. Because that's what it is, right? If I have a wife that's upstairs, she's part of my family. You understand what I'm saying? So it's how we relate. So if we're talking about black male-female relationships, my wife has male friends and I relate to them. Do I apply metaphysics? Depends on how I'm defining it. I have female friends, so do I apply metaphysical? Yeah, that's just too broad. You got to narrow that question down. Give me an example of metaphysics, and I can tell you how we can apply it to black male-female relationships.
Indeed. Somebody got a super chat. Is this question direct? Matter Rich, what is your intentions for the trajectory of the year? I quite don't understand that. So
I
I
don't
don't know.
understand it. And that question is kind of personal. That's not something you ask somebody. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody asks me about my idea of my trajectory toward the rest of this year, and I'm giving you my notes that I write in my journal, bro, that's not. Yeah, Mr. Jones. Yeah, no, sir. No.
Yeah, if you could
Then you ask
expound.
me about my intentions.
Mhm. If I was to give you a broad answer, Barry, it would just be focus, to utilize focus more without getting too personal. Like Griff said, it would be just for me to utilize focus because, like I said earlier, I understand how important focus is in this matrix. So I would just say, my intentions is to utilize focus at what I want as much as possible. But let's take
Brother Rich, you got a lot more wisdom than I do because I wouldn't even know how. Yeah, that's just it's almost like you understand what I'm saying. One of the things that I've started doing, Brother Rich, is start listening to people that are not coming. Don't misunderstand this, people that are not coming in the vein of I gotta save the black race vein. People that are giving information, dropping science, wisdom, but they don't have this I gotta save the black nation, the black race kind of vibe. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what I started doing is putting it up on Instagram. And I've gotten lackluster responses. But because I'm not speaking, I'm letting other people speak to what I might be thinking about. Not that I necessarily agree with it, Brother Rich. You follow what? So I might post something that this white woman said that makes sense to me that I'm trying to understand just to see what other people think about it. And I might put a quote under it. You understand what I'm saying? Just to see where people are at in their thinking.
Last question, Griff. Do you think Morant, this is Torian Anderson's axis, do you think Morant is going through a humiliation ritual?
I noticed something about that age group. Yeah, they're not embarrassed about nothing, bro. If you did they different. They got a whole different way they approach things, man. They don't. First of all, I'm not saying him, but that age group, it's not too much that they respect. So being a professional sports player, but you're in an environment where there's drinking, smoking, naked chicks, and you got guns. Yeah, I don't think, But what needs to happen, I think, there's going to be certain things that's going to happen to him within the next probably few weeks that's going to humble him. And he probably needs to have some humility. You understand what I'm saying? And if I was his dad, I'd probably get some older people around. I mean, he can keep some of the young cats that's around him, but just get some older people that's, in the mix that can balance that thing out, brother. Talking about intentions, Brother Rich, I just looked at my pyramid, my crystal that I keep in front of between me and the computer to absorb that radiation, and it's turned black, man.
Wow. What color was it before?
It was a whole lot lighter than this, where you can see the gold and everything, man. But I got to set this out in the sun, man, for real.
Wow.
But anyway, I don't want to change the subject, but I'm saying, man, wow, I better check my other one. Dang, it's critical. But anyway, yeah.
Hey, Griff, leave them your contact information. Somebody asks if you still got your show. Let them know everything you got going on, Professor Griff.
Well, just to let the people know they haven't heard from me in a minute, simply because I've been on tour with the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, as I do every single year for the last 18 years. So it's always about this time you don't hear from me. That's why when I saw your face come up in my phone, I said, Brother Rich, right on time.
Right on time, huh?
Because I'm about to jump back on my show. I haven't been there in a minute. And trust me, brothers and sisters, and I'm going to need y'all's energy on this one. When you got cats like Ron DeSantis and other people around the country trying to push this critical race theory on us and trying to stop AP studies, you understand what I'm saying? African-American studies, black studies, and trying to silence our voices, it is very difficult to be a person like me in the realm of education, trying to educate our people, all right? On the campus and off the campus, online and offline. Education has been part of my life, so it's very, very difficult to navigate through and make my way through. You understand what I'm saying? With that, every other college is saying, well, do you guys teach critical race theory? Every other school, every other time we're confronted with seminars and lectures and meetings or having to negotiate certain things, it's like, okay, we like, ma'am, sir, this is a museum. You don't go to the museum of arts and you start asking about what's behind the glass. Are you guys allowed to have that in the museum? It's a museum. Mm-hmm. You follow what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why people haven't been seeing me. But I'm getting back doing my show on a regular basis. But my contact information, my number is 678-557-2919. You can go on just Google my name, Professor Griff, Serious Minds, RNTV. My information will come up. Of course, my Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook is simply Professor Griff or Griff the Enemy. All right. I'm right at the end of the book that I've been promising. And to be honest with you, Brother Rich, I was blown away by these AI platforms, man. I'm kind of leery. I'm trying to understand how to navigate and use it and kind of, I want to be my authentic self. So I'm trying to figure this AI platform thing out. You understand what I'm saying? And so Griff, get the Green, Black, and Red in book. And of course, my next children's book, You Are the Song That You Sing, book 2, will be out within the next couple of months. Excellent. And I'm still doing my firearms classes. And when I first saw the brother on Instagram flashing the gun, I said, yeah, he needs to take a class. For real.
I ain't even going to. Yeah, man. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Griff, man, I want to thank you once. I'm going to call you tomorrow, Griff. Remember, I said I got to chop it up with you about a couple of things. So I'm going to call you tomorrow, my brother. But I want to thank you for coming on the show as usual. We've been doing it for so long, so many years, my brother. Always a pleasure having you on the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And I'll be back tomorrow with somebody. I don't know who yet. I'll be back tomorrow with somebody. But with that being said, this is Brother Rich, Professor Griff. We signing out, family. Peace.
Peace.